Now, I don't know about finishing any story, but WWE and 2K definitely want you to finish the video game. A big announcement and a huge honor to 3 WWE superstars. And the way that it was done, pretty cool. We'll talk all about it coming up in this upload. As you can see, all of my G's remain up in the office studio after this past weekend's elimination of the Green Bay Packers. The 49ers Das booted my Green Bay Packers from the NFL playoff tournament. And I was supposed to take all of my Packer gear down, but I guess I'm still in the denial phase of grief because the G's remain up. And I remain with more G's than Verizon, but such is. By the Yankee season, hopefully we'll do a turnaround. Now for the upload at hand. In all seriousness, Cody Rhodes, Bianca Belair, and Rhea Ripley. They were all brought to LA for a photo shoot by 2K. So WWE flew them out there. 2K wants to do this. Some promotional work, some extra promotional work for 2K23, they were told. What they didn't know is they were not there for the 2K23 photo shoot. They were there to be told and to do the subsequent photo shoot to the cover of 2K24. The very next game, which is a huge honor for those that don't know. A big honor. Even if you're not a gamer, BC doesn't play a lot of video games, but I know how big this is to a lot of the wrestlers. It's when you made it to that next level. Cody Rhodes has said many, many times, many interviews, that that's one of the things on his bucket list. And a lot of those interviews, you kind of pass it off as just a laugh, right? Because it's like bucket list, headline WrestleMania, and be on the cover of 2K. You know, one's a lot more massive than the other, but it's still a bucket list for a lot of these wrestlers. And Cody Rhodes has made it a point many times to say that's something he would love to accomplish. So they flew him all out to LA. Cody, Bianca, and Rhea, they put them in front of this TV, and before they're about to shoot the extra promotional work for 2K23, Paul Levesque McMahon shows up on the TV, and he informs them, you are not here to do extra promotional for 2K23. You are here to be the cover of 2K24. And you see their natural reaction. I mean, Cody Rhodes is like, oh, cool. He starts high-fiving. Bianca's like, what? Me? Little old me? Rhea Ripley's like, you gotta be, you know, you could tell that Rhea got really emotional with it. It was a very cool thing where even if you're just doing promotional for 2K23, I mean, that's pretty badass. You're gonna get a payday just to put on your gear and snap some photos. And be a playable character or a different version, or at least promote this game. You're going to see this in the magazines, in the posters, all of that. Pretty damn cool. But to find out you're the cover, again, that's that next tier status. Cody Rhodes knocks that off his bucket list. Bianca and Rhea had no idea that was coming. It looked like they were not tipped off in the least, or like that was even an option. Especially with all the influx of the baby faces that WWE has right now. There's so many to choose from. And that's why for Cody, I feel it's the right decision. Because for Cody Rhodes, there was heavy comp, right? LA Knight, we were hearing, was never going to be the cover. And that's the problem. They always look at, and they still to this day look at LA Knight as a top baby face here, right? Top, in quotes. But here. You bring back Randy Orton, he supersedes. CM Punk supersedes. Cody Rhodes, they always position Cody Rhodes as that like Lex Luger, Hulk Hogan, real American hero babyface. So whether he has a title or not, he's the one that's going to travel around to every country. He's going to have the smile on his face. He'll do the Make-A-Wishes. All the marketing, promotional. Cody Rhodes is dependable to the company in that way. Another reason why he should have got the title at 39, but that's another story. And now we're playing this whole game about 40 and he's got to finish the story. That's another story. But he's always been positioned since he got back as that smiling American flag gear type babyface, right? The real American hero. The only thing he's missing is drink your milk, eat your vitamins, say your prayers. because he's got everything else pretty much locked down. So Cody Rhodes was always going to be in that discussion. LA Knight never was. Randy Orton, they knew he was coming back before his Survivor Series appearance. So the talks were already in. Is Randy Orton a good candidate yet again to be up on that cover? And then CM Punk came back, absolutely shattered social media records and whatnot. So they were like, all right, well, there you go. Instant mega sales if we put CM Punk on the cover. But they decided to go. I mean, you could have easily went Jey Uso. I mean, he had a lot of hype. That would be something different. There's so many baby faces you could have chose from. Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens could have been options after WrestleMania Night 1 last year. And then their trajectory kind of went downhill after that. There was no tag division, and they just hung there with Judgment Day the rest of the year. But I guess you could have put them as a team there, but wouldn't make much sense since they're on different brands now. The point is, there's a lot of baby faces, but I always felt that Cody Rhodes was the right choice. And for them to finally say, you know what, yeah, maybe more sales, a little more controversial, a little more polarizing if we put CM Punk, but Cody Rhodes, man, you talk about earning his place on that bucket list cover, I think so. So I don't know about finishing any story, but if you're going to finish the video game, you're going to do it with Cody Rhodes. Maybe. Cody Rhodes was picked as the standard version of the video game. So that's the one you're going to see more than any other. If you're just in a random Target aisle in the electronics, you're going to see that one. Or Best Buy, you're going to see a lot more of the Cody Rhodes. The deluxe version, the deluxe will be Rhea Ripley and Bianca Belair together. They're going to be on the same cover. I think maybe they're staring at one another like a face-off, or they're just staring straight. I don't know which photo they actually went with. I saw a couple of different copies. Obviously, you're only going to see one. But you're going to see Bianca and Rhea on the deluxe version. There's actually a third version, guys. I think it's like a WrestleMania Legacy type cover. So technically, there's a third version too. So I think we're getting a little out there, but that's not the one you're going to see in most stores. It's either going to be Cody Rhodes majorly, or if you see any other, Bianca and Rhea will be deluxe, and that one can be ordered online, obviously. More than the one you're going to see in stores, which would be Cody. So anyway, just letting you know there, right? A little detail there. Cody is the standard. The deluxe is Rhea and Bianca. It's not just a crapshoot. If you think you're going to get Bianca and Rhea on a standard version, that's not the case. So, but again, Paul Levesque McMahon, right? They fooled them, right? They kind of tricked them. They said they were coming in for one thing, and they did the reveal. Paul Levesque McMahon loves it. He just loves to be the guy behind the curtain, Wizard of Oz. Have you ever seen Wizard of Oz, right? He likes to be Oz, the guy behind the curtain, calling all of the shots. And he learned from Vince and Kennedy McMahon, so he shouldn't be too shocked. The difference is Vince was okay remaining behind the curtain. I truly believe he never wanted to be the character Mr. McMahon. He just knew that people loved it. They ate it up. The ratings were huge when Vince McMahon was on camera. But he was fine. When I started watching pro wrestling, I never knew Vince McMahon was the owner. He was just a commentator, and he was fine with it, guys. He let all the wrestlers have the limelight. But Paul Levesque McMahon, he loves to make sure that all of these wrestlers look up to him as Papa H. That's why he loved NXT so much. He would give them the hoorah speeches, right? So the Dusty Rhodeses and the William Regals, all these masterminds were running the day-to-day operations in NXT. Levesque McMahon would fly his ass to Orlando, Florida, and he'd give the Papa speeches, and everybody would be like, "Thank you, Dad." But he loved, they would do it on camera, guys. There were so many times where NXT talents would get called up, and they would do it on camera, and Paul Levesque McMahon would call them in, and they would make a whole production out of it. Now, it's a big moment for sure, but you got 3 different camera angles. I mean, this becomes a television show, and he's telling them, in the Paul Levesque McMahon voice, we like what you're doing, and we think it's time that you're going to the big time. You're going to Monday Night Raw. Congratulations, kid. You've earned it. Congratulations. And then they do the photo where H is pointing at you, right? This guy right here. So CM Punk when CM Punk came back, I'm going to flip the script. He starts pointing at H too, man. These wrestlers are catching on to Levesque McMahon. But in all fun, man, I still think it was a really cool thing to trick these wrestlers into thinking they're doing promotion for a game already out, and here it is for 2K24, the cover. I just think that's awesome. But it's definitely Levesque McMahon being Levesque McMahon. He's always got to position himself like the great wizard, you know? He pops up and he's like, you're not here just for promotion. You encompass and embody everything. This is almost a true statement. If I'm paraphrasing, it's only by a word or two. He's like, you encompass and embody everything that a true WWE superstar should be. And for those reasons, you have earned your right onto the cover of 2K. It's like this big thing that HHH kind of put himself in. It was funny when he started his message and they showed Cody. Cody just wanted to do like an eye roll. Like he took a sip of water like, oh boy, this dude, what is he going to say? What is he going to say? I'm just here to do some photos. Why are you on my TV? Too funny, man. But it was really cool. It was well done. And it's well earned, man. Bianca Belair I've always been high on. Her booking's gotten stale because it's redundancy. You can tell they don't know what to do. They just win a lot, right? Just win a lot. They do that with Charlie Flair and so many others. Just win a lot. But if you don't have a connection to the crowd, if you don't have really good stories being told, just winning a lot is not going to help, right? We just talked about Solo Sikoa losing a lot, right? But we also talked there's more than just the wins and losses in pro wrestling. Way more. There's got to be a connection. Right, if you're losing 10 out of your last 12 matches, okay, but how are you being booked in terms of your story? Are you connecting with the crowd? Is there a meaning for those losses that will eventually lead to something? Or have you dug yourself into, or the company has dug yourself into a hole so deep you can't dig out of it? Right? These are problems, obviously. So we don't get hung up just on wins and losses, but it's about what does it actually lead to? Or if anything, or have you at least been relevant in those losses, right? Like again, for instance, we just talked Solo Sikoa. It's not just the fact that he's only won 2 matches out of his last 34. It's not the fact that after John Cena allowed Solo to annihilate him on a pay-per-view, Crown Jewel November 4th, that Solo then had 21 matches in a row where he has lost every single one of them. That's right. 21 matches for Solo since defeating John Cena, and he's lost all of them. But that alone isn't what is burying Solo. It's the fact that he's been irrelevant in the losses and just being off of TV for weeks at a time. They've done nothing with him since annihilating John Cena. That's the problem. AJ Styles, right? We talk wins and losses not being everything. AJ Styles wins more than he loses. Before he got injured, AJ Styles was like over 90% for a winning percentage. But you wouldn't know if he was off the show or not because you didn't care. That's sad, but AJ Styles' booking for the past several years has been mid AF, if not below. So it doesn't matter how many wins you give AJ Styles, the fans didn't care. It doesn't matter how many wins you gave Charlotte Flair, fans didn't care. And then you give Solo Sikoa all of these losses when fans didn't care anyway. They care even less now. I don't want to get too off track, so let's circle back to what started that conversation. Bianca Belair, right? I've always been high on Bianca, and I just want to care more going forward about Bianca, and that's where they're starting to lose the audience a little bit. You can tell they just don't know what to do with her. We saw this with Charlie Flair for so long, and they just have Charlie come back every time, win a championship, thinking that that's going to change things for a lot of us. No, you got to change them. You got to do more. You got to do some special storytelling, man. Bianca's got all of it. She's great. Now help her out. Give her some material that she can really skyrocket into the stratosphere. It's not that complicated, guys. You just got to care. And for Rhea Ripley, yes, deserving on one front for sure. Rhea Ripley, obviously a beast, but you could look at her as the actual leader of Judgment Day. And when you talk promos, Rhea Ripley is the front and center. She's the lead. So in that aspect, she actually does carry it. And the work she did with Dominic and being the mommy. And I'm talking not even what was just on TV, like the holiday stuff with Rey Mysterio that was just online, which should have been on the shows because it was some of the best segments BC has seen in a long time in the company. And they stuffed it on their WWE.com or whatever. So in that aspect, absolutely, she has earned that cover. And the other aspect, match-wise, she has not had nearly as many matches as many others on the roster. Some injuries have taken her out, though, so, that's with an asterisk. But she's nothing special booking-wise with her in that championship. So that's why there might be pushback there. But I have no problem at all with Rhea, and it's clear that Levesque McMahon sees her as one of the key components of the future of WWE. So from Cody Rhodes to Bianca to Rhea Ripley, just a really cool thing. Salute, congratulations to all of them. I can't tell you I'll be playing it. BC's not a big video game person, clearly. I most likely don't come across as such. I used to play back in the day, early 2000s maybe, WWE Raw vs. SmackDown. I got to be the general manager of Raw. And my sole purpose was to try to defeat SmackDown in the ratings. So I would put all these matches together. First, you get to draft your roster, and then you get to do all these matches every Monday night to try to compete with SmackDown. And I would put together steel cage matches, fatal four-ways, no holds barred, because SmackDown was always beating me. So I'm like, all right, now I'm just going to have a whole pay-per-view, just wild night of action, right? I'm going to pack, stack, and jack up this card. And SmackDown would still beat me in the ratings. I think I ended up just firing myself. But, yeah, I still don't understand how they beat me. For those that say ratings don't matter, yeah, they even put them in the video games, man. They made you compete with SmackDown to see who was going to win the night. Or at least win the week. You know what? I should dust off the old remote control. I should whoop SmackDown's ass, come to think of it. I don't know. We'll think. We'll think about it. I don't know if these new video games allow you to do that. Draft rosters and go head to head with like SmackDown. Do they still do that? If so, maybe I will play this game. I don't know. Congratulations, Cody, Bianca, and Rhea. Guys, until next time, there will be that next time. BC, top guys, we are saying peace, salute, check you. Go long, like on vacation, like my Green Bay Packers, unfortunately.